Hello.
How
How
you?
are you today?
I'm great. I'm great. How about yourself?
I'm doing fantastic.
Good, good.
So, let's start off with why you joined the military.
Well, I had a bunch of cousins. Most of them were in the Army or Navy, so I was actually the first person in my family to go into the Air Force, and
Ooh,
it was the best thing for me to do at the time to get away from this city. So
yeah.
it allowed me to escape, my surroundings, get to a better situation and actually set myself up, for future success. So that's
So, with you joining you live in Florida, right?
Pensacola, Florida. Yes, ma'am.
So that's where you joined from.
Yep. And I'm
So,
back.
do you believe that joining the military and for the time that you did, that was the best decision for you?
Well, I had lost my mom when I was in ninth grade, and she wanted to go to school or whatever. But I
Yeah.
had a whole, motivation for that. So the military was the best thing for me to do, so I can get away from here as far as like with that.
So, did you go to school while you were in?
No, kept going and quitting, and then I would do good if I got because I'm horrible at math. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I mean, I've been, but I got to 2023, so I'm out again. We'll see.
For me, I was the same way. Like you go and you're like, I just ain't feeling this. You know, I came for this, but I'm
Right.
not feeling this. So for me, how long did you stay in?
I only did 6 years. Like I ended up getting medically retired out in '08. Like so, it was like shortly after I left Germany. Really, I spent like 2 years in England, and then I ended up getting another blood clot, and then medically retired me out. So I've been back here since '08.
Yeah,
I mean, 20, but at least I got something out of it. You know what I mean? So,
that is the so for me, medically getting out. Do you think you would have took it to the 20, or do you think that would like mentally? Where do you think you would have been?
well, I mean, me personally, like when I was in, I loved the traveling and just seeing the other and everything that I did get to see. So that's the main thing I miss, and then meeting the people that I got to meet. You know what I mean? Because I got to meet you as well as Rabbit, and everybody else that was on Simbach. You know what I mean? So we were like a little tight click family. You know what I mean? So that's what I miss. And then the next base I went to, I ended up going to RAF Mildenhall, and I got to meet some good people there too, also. So I miss it because of the traveling and the people, because I got to meet some really good people. You know what I mean? So I
So
went.
after Mildenhall, did they send you back to a base, or how did that work? Did you medically retire from Mildenhall?
They medically retired me out here at Eglin, so that's like close to Herbert Field. That's pretty much, you might well say Fort Walton, you might as well say. But
Yeah.
end up PCSing me here to retire. You know what I mean? So I retired out from Eglin.
Okay.
Mm.
So for me, when you say that did you like the bases that you were at when you were in?
Um, I did. The only thing I would change is if what I shouldn't have did, and you know what I'm probably gonna say. I shouldn't have got married in Germany. I should have been single while I was in England. You know what I mean? That's because I couldn't enjoy it like I probably would have wanted to. You
Yeah.
know, I was a single man. But other than that, I wouldn't change anything. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, because you mean it's always what you make of where you're at. And I remember us being on Simbach working swings and mids and
yeah, duty, right?
just chilling because it was you did your job, and when the job was done, that was it. And it amazes me how many people complain about the situation or just working period in the military. And yeah, there's some days when it's like, oh my god, this really truly sucks. But I mean, we was chilling. We
Right.
was
It
straight
wasn't.
chilling.
We were having a good time. So like I said, I enjoyed myself. I wouldn't change anything because I had so much fun. I got to see so many different things. Got to experience eating different foods and seeing the other cultures. Like I wouldn't change anything. You know what I mean? As far as like doing the whole 20, if I did have the chance to. But like I said, at least I got out with something. You know what I mean? So
Yeah. Do you think that you would encourage your kids to go in the military?
It depends on how this world looks when they get older. You know what I mean? Because it seems like it's only getting worse. You know what I mean? But we'll,
I mean, for me, I say no. We're gonna make big things happen, so you don't have to. I
right.
mean, the military is amazing for
Mhm.
people who truly need it, like the medical. The people. But it's all of what your experience is, because everything's what you make out of it. And I mean, when I got out, everybody was like, "Oh, the TRICARE once you get out is horrible," but I've had great. Um,
Been great to me. No excuses. So, I mean, no complaints. I mean, but
yeah, but even the VA, people were like, "The VA is so horrible."
mhm.
I have not yet met one VA person that was horrible or nasty or wasn't willing to help.
Right.
And I think the one lady I did like encounter, she wasn't even medical. She was in an office
Hmm.
with the DAV man, and she sat in the front. So she was the first face you saw. And I
Right.
mean, she was pure miserable. And I was
Right.
like, what's wrong with her? He was like, she's always like that. And I was like, well, maybe she should get a new job if she doesn't want to
Right.
work in here.
Bad. You know what I mean? Right.
You're gonna always see the same people coming in and out of this place. Like the VA is always rampacked. People are always in and out of there, always needing something.
Hmm.
And for me, the biggest thing is the people, right? Like your job is people. What are
Hmm.
you willing to do for these people
Right.
that you're not doing or that's making you so miserable?
Right. No, I mean I agree. Like currently, I'm a warehouse supervisor for the Navy Exchange or whatever. And most of the people I work with or work for me or whatever, they're
Yeah.
prior military, and like it makes me realize that I could have never went into the Navy because all of them are just mad at the world. I swear for no almost guess no reason at all. You know what I mean? So I mean, but you know me, I've always been positive about everything. I at least try to be. You know what I mean? Because like everybody's so negative about everything. I mean, there's enough negativity in the world. I don't think you should have no more of it if you can help it. You know what I mean? But
Yeah,
that's
but
just hard.
everything's about how you look at it.
No, I agree. It's all about
It's
perspective. You're right. You're right.
Yeah, you could, but you know what? Negative trumps negative. Negative's gonna continue to compile. If you're continuously negative, that's all you're gonna always get.
No, I agree.
Always. So with your crossing, when you went into the warehouse, I mean, because warehouse is what you did in the military
Yeah.
and went into it. What's the difference? Is there any difference?
I would say more so the difference is just the systems they use. You know what I mean? And then like I feel like they take a few shortcuts here and there, but I mean it's also because nobody wants to work now. You know what I mean? So it's
Yes.
really like about them not having enough manpower. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
you got what you got. You know, so and that's just what it really comes down to. I mean, even when we were in, I think they were going through force shaping and trying to cross train people and all that crap. So I
Yeah.
mean, kind of used to it already in a sense, as far as like doing, more than just my job. You know what I mean? So it don't bother me at all. Like, I mean, I just don't understand the negativity with a lot of people I do work with because they have no reason to be mad at all. You know.
Yeah. So is there any advice you would give to anybody that wants to join, that's looking to join?
Um, like my okay, I give an example. Like my sister went in and
Mhm.
she ended up going to Shaw Air Force Base for her first duty station.
Okay.
And she loved it there, but it was all about her management and her supervisor or whatever. So
Yeah.
most people's experiences are based off who their supervisor is and who they I mean because you can relate to it too. 'Cause we didn't have the best when we were at Germany, but we did have some good people, so it made it worth the while of being there. You knew who to go to.
Yes.
You had a
Yes.
problem. You know what I mean? Some people cared, some people did. You know what I mean? So like Soren Varner and you as far as like helping me when I was on the Fat Boy program when I was in the military, like helped me out tremendously. Like I tell people about it all the time, and I mean, it's just like you meet good people and you meet bad people. It's just all about how you make it and what you make out of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Is your sister still in?
you try and be positive and just realize that, I mean, sometimes you're going to meet people that just aren't good for you or just want to like, leave a negative impression on you. You know what I mean? So you just got to try and rise above that if possible.
100%.
Hmm.
Is your sister still in?
I'm sorry.
Is your sister still in?
No, she ended up getting out. She ended up having fibromyalgia. So she
Yep.
ended up this. I mean, she got. I ain't gonna say retired, but she got disability from it. You know what I mean? So she's set really. But
Okay.
she had a great time at Shaw. But when she went to, she ended up going actually to the same base I left from because I was at RAF Mildenhall,
Yeah.
and they actually thought she was my wife. You know what I mean? Because we got the same.
Oh, yeah, 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 yeah.
Excuse me. Excuse me. But she enjoyed her time at Shaw, but not at RF Milton Hall. It was because of her supervisor and like everybody that was above her. So I mean, she didn't have the best rank structure. She was a
Yeah,
logistics plan. So I mean, it just really came down to who she had in charge of her, and that's usually what's the case. You know what I mean?
that
That's
that makes or break your decision
right,
to
right,
stay or get out. Because I would, let me see, when I was stationed in Maelstrom,
okay,
we had some really good people there. It was like a team. But
hmm
then as people started to go in and out, it's
hmm
like that team was about self and what can I get out of this? And I mean, as soon as I left, they had a whole lot of trouble and just people going to buy stuff off the GTC card
gotcha.
and selling it to get
You're
the money.
not supposed to do that. Well, I got you. Yeah. Great
One of the
thinking.
guys went to jail
Yeah,
because he had he bought all this stuff and his plan was to sell it off. He was PCSing and his plan was to sell it when he PCSed so nobody would know. And people found out because, some of the wives were like, you're not supposed to be returning that. And
right, right,
it's like people start talking. It's like every time you decide to do something that's not right, somebody's going to always know. And
right.
then you're going to be like, he did time in jail for it.
Yeah. Well,
I
he
mean,
deserved. I mean, that's
hard,
not for.
hard time.
And they tell you that all the they told us that plenty of times. Like, you will go to jail if you use this for anything than what you're supposed to use it for. You know what I
Jail.
mean? Right, right. So yeah, sure they told him. You know what I mean?
Oh, they're 100% because that's their catch right there because that's liability to them. I mean, I remember being in several bases where the commanders was like, "You will buy this," and I
Yeah,
would sit there and say, "I will not because I'm
right.
not jail for you. If you want to buy it, you get a card and you
You
do
do
this
it.
purchase. I'm not. I ain't going to jail for you. I feel like you're trying to give me a direct order to go to jail.
Right, and I don't blame the same way.
People
You
are
want
like, well, you
to
can't
not me?
tell. Yes, I can. I'm telling him that. Like,
Mhm.
telling him, and I will tell all of y'all, I ain't going to jail for none of y'all.
Right, nobody. I don't want to see the inside of no sale. 'Cause I know I ain't gonna make it. I would hate to see what type of person they would turn me into. You know what I mean? I see that. You know what I mean? I want my kids to see me in jail. You know what I mean? So I
And
don't.
over something that it ain't even worth it. Some equipment that you could have got you could have waited till next year, or because you know how everything, the money. I don't know if the outside world, if they run off of physical money like we did in the military, but once that money is done, it's done. It don't carry over to the next, and that was the biggest thing that I saw
Right.
in a lot of the commanders. They wanted to spend that end of year money, and they were pissed when they could not spend it.
That's crazy. Well, if it's that shit, they should have spent it themselves, like you were saying. You know what I mean? So, but
You should have made plans. Like this happens every year, and
right,
that's for me. Everything in the military, it's based off of timing. It's the same thing. It's always like nothing ever changes. It's always the same thing. I mean, now they're making all these changes and
mm-hmm.
all these changes to regulations. But for me, for the school with you, does the outside offer any schooling for you? The company you're with?
Well, with the Navy exchange, they have it to where like if you do go to school, you have to have a certain grade point average, or you're gonna have a grade,
Yeah,
or you
yeah.
mean so, and that's how that works. But I think you gotta maintain a C or above, or you gotta pay the money back. You know what I mean? So I mean,
Yes, yes, just like the military with the TA and everything, right? So
right,
you,
right.
so you saying that you have till 2023? What I mean, we in 2021 right now. What we doing?
You
Because
know, I honestly plan on this. This is what so I can feel like I got something out of my post 9/11 GI Bill. Like I feel like I here probably where I'm at probably for another year. Then I might go to CD. Well, I know I'm gonna go to CDL school and get my CDL license and then go from.
yeah,
But I mean, I don't want to get on the road necessarily because what I could do is I can get a job at the Navy Exchange as far as like driving their trucks, and I have
yeah.
to be open road like that. You know what I mean? So that's my little plan as far as like with that. But so I can feel like I got something out of it. You know what I mean? So
So with me, you don't have you. I don't know because I did all my degrees online.
well, I went to the University of Phoenix for a little second. Then I think they're not accredited or something now. That's what I read somewhere, but I'm not sure.
But AMU for me was a very good school.
Okay,
You get the books free. You
okay,
get so you do everything online.
okay,
And I know with the GI Bill, you try to get the doing the most because you want to get the BAH. But for
right,
me, if it doesn't benefit you, and you're going to end up losing it. You might as well get what you can out of what you got right now.
right.
But AMU, they do 100% TA, whatever, they pay, the school pays, is paid for by the TA or the GI Bill. And
Okay.
then it's free books. So you don't pay for books, you're not paying anything extra. And then you don't have to work in the order of what your, like the criteria says, right? So, people usually do history, math,
Right.
whatever, science, blah, blah, blah. You can jump around. And like you said, you didn't like math. You could leave math to like and still complete everything else. And you can do, like, for them, one course is available right after the next.
Gotcha.
So I don't know, because I went to what, I don't know what that school was back in the day. I can't remember.
Yeah,
But
yeah, University of Phoenix. I did Colorado Tech, whatever. I don't even think it's around anymore. But I did some online stuff with them because I was trying to get my stuff for to be a IT or whatever. But I
yeah,
kind of doing that or whatever. I need to get back into it though because that's mainly where everything is going now as far as like with computers and stuff. So
yes,
and that
yes.
do they have that at AMU as far as like the
I'm not sure if they have IT, but they have a really big selection of what you can do. And I did my master's with TUI, and I
okay.
don't know how you are with writing papers or what your love is for that, but
I don't
TUI
I just suck at math. That's what it really comes down to. I don't mind writing.
TUI will be I think TUI will be the school for you because they have no test. It's all papers.
Okay.
You have 2 weeks to write two papers because you can do the accelerated program where I think I did an 8 week program. I'm not sure, but it was two papers each week, and then you just had to do the discussion board. You didn't have no test. You didn't have any of that extra stuff. All the books were covered. And I
Mhm.
mean, for me, I loved it. The reason I didn't do AMU for my master's is because I had to pay more money out of pocket and pay for books for my master's. So I that's how I found TUI.
Gotcha.
But there's so many schools out there that like benefit us as far as how our lives are, right? Because in the military, it's like, okay, hey, you got this test, you got this one, but oh my god, I ain't got time to do this.
I
But
I don't got time now barely. You know what I mean?
and it's like you trying to fit things into the life that you got going on,
Mhm.
but you want to accomplish these goals,
Right.
right? So we my thing is we set our intentions of what we want to do, right? So you want to go to CDL school, but you also want to use this money. And I say try to see if the GI Bill will pay for the CDL class because in reality, that's your goal for right now. See where you can go with it there because
Pay for it. They'll pay for it.
and
Part of
see you
so,
can
so
I just
go ahead. I'm sorry.
no, go ahead.
I'm honestly trying to wait because like I work with like two older people, like they're trying to retire out. So I kind of came back to the job I'm at now to actually help them out because they're kind of old, you know what I mean, and they can't do everything that they're supposed to do because
Okay.
they're old, you know what I mean. So I try to pick up the slack for them, really, you know what I mean.
Here's I'm gonna be that little devil on your shoulder, right?
I got you.
Because I'm always there in the back. Like, what does that have to do with you?
Nothing, nothing at all. But you know, I've always
I
so
know you are the helper bee. You're so caring and loving. You just
I really can't help.
but you gotta remember in the end, right? You
Mhm.
have you have a goal that you need to get to. And yes, helping people, if they can't keep up, they gotta go.
But they only got to December. They got to December. I'm
But
trying to
you
get them to December. That's what I'm trying to get them to.
I got you. You holding on. They holding on till December. We're gonna do this. But
Right.
now, what's your plan after December?
I'm
Right?
well. I already talked to the guy about the CDL school, so I just got to see when they have classes starting next year, and I'm gonna just put them notice it where I'm at now and just go.
This year, that's a lot. We ain't even halfway through this year yet.
But you know, after July, it fly on by after July. It's over with, you know. I
After July. Okay.
do
Okay.
it.
You know what? As long as you got a plan, and that's my biggest thing. When
Mhm.
we go into something, we know what we need to do, right? So we join the military because I joined because I wanted to get out of school. You joined because you wanted to get out of your situation, your neighborhood. You didn't want to be one of those, you didn't want to fall into the place of what everybody else do. But then when we came in, we got a plan. Like this is what we're gonna do. Sometimes our plan gets derailed, but always having that plan is how it also gets implemented, right? Because we can have a plan all day, but I'm gonna ask you this: is it written down to say this is what
It's
I'm
written. It's written down in my. head. It's written down though.
So how many times has his head written down stuff changed, right? Like,
We're not here to talk about that. We're not here to,
okay.
no,
Okay.
but multiple times. I'm just playing. It's been multiple times.
So we need to write this down. Like, we're setting intentions. Like, we're going out and we're saying, this is what I'm gonna do. And you know what? For me, you don't even have to put a date,
Mhm.
because it seems like for you, dates don't really flow, right? Because it's like, okay, your heartstrings get pulled in the left because you're like, okay, I'm gonna do this to stay with you and help you out, and then I'm gonna help me out. But in the end, we gotta remember, those same people that you helping out, where they gonna be when it comes your time around, right? Like, I'm not saying that not to help at all, but I wouldn't shut everything down to help them, or even just like change around. If, say, I don't know how your schedule works or how it works, however the work works, right?
Mhm.
Whatever they can't do, it's like, okay, what can they do that they can't do that somebody, you know what I'm saying? Like,
No,
where
I
can they make up the can't part to
got
where they can do for somebody? It's just like, I just think you're putting your goals and
on
your
hold. I
future
am.
on hold for
I am.
people who, and it ain't even like it's your children, right? It's the somebody
Mhm.
that they, in the end, they're not going to benefit you. So I'm not trying to, I don't want nobody to think that I'm trying to be the mean person and say not to help people. I'm just trying to say, what's the benefit of putting yourself on hold to help somebody else? Because December's a long time away. So what can you do in the interim, right? So can you take other classes? Because the more you wait, the more money we wasting. And I know, I don't think we were talking when I started getting into the calculations of how much TA we waste a year in the military by not taking a class. Because if you don't take that class, that that money is gone.
Yeah.
So, what can you do now in the interim? Like, where can you carve out a little bit of time, a little bit of space for you and your goals, right? Because the CDL is what you want to do right now. That, that's that right here. But in the end, where's the rest of it going? Where are we going from there? Are we, you know what I'm saying? What degree do we need to take us to the next level? Because we talked about the IT just a little bit ago.
Mhm.
What can you do while you're waiting till December or waiting till that CDL class comes up?
I mean, I can look into the school you're talking about and just see what they offer and just go from there and see what happens. You know what I mean?
I just feel like the money we waste, it's like, it's a mass amount, because people like, oh, I don't feel like going to school right now. Yeah, we don't feel like it, or I don't have time. But
Right.
where do you carve that time out? Where do you make time for the things that will benefit you tomorrow or
Right.
your kids, right? Because we could sit here all day and say, yeah, oh, I'm content with the job I'm doing. I'm good. But are you fulfilled? Is it like, oh my God, I love this. This is this makes my heart sing.
People I work with. That's what it comes down to. I'm not saying I love the job.
Yeah.
People I work with, and that's what it really.
They leaving, right?
I'm sorry.
They leaving, right?
They are leaving. Yeah.
So, I mean, they won't be there forever, but I say help them to the extent that you can, but find out what works for you. Like, insert that little bit of, like that extra step. You know me, I'm always like, okay, we about to run to this next point. Like, we can't stop back here. We got to go a little bit further because this point don't help us.
Right. You're right.
So, for me, is there anything else you want to share with people that you feel that you've experienced or you've noticed through the
Uh,
military, getting out?
I would say that the Air Force prepared me to like deal with people from different backgrounds. Because if I hadn't went in otherwise, I probably wouldn't know how to deal with half the people I work with. You know what I mean? Because
Yes.
I had that experience dealing with so many people from different backgrounds, different cultures, or whatever. Like I remember when I went to England, I ended up having a troop. Excuse me. He was from Ironwood, Michigan. Never met a real black person ever in his life. So
Yeah.
like the only saving grace he had was that he loved basketball. But
Oh,
favorite player was LeBron James. But like he based his whole perspective and ideal about black folks on what he saw on the Chappelle show. And me and you both know that's not how all black. That's not how we all are. You know what I mean? So
and I don't even like that show. I don't even like that man. Like,
some people don't. Some people don't. But a lot of people do care for his comedy and like the fact that he based his whole like perspective on black people off that. I mean, he got a rude awakening when he got to England and saw how black people really are, and like that alone prepared me prepare me on how to deal with people just from backgrounds that I can't understand. You know what I mean? Because like I couldn't imagine that me nobody else other than somebody from my color. Than just my color. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I've worked with people from different. I mean, like you have too. We worked with people from like different countries, different parts of the U.S. from the South to the East Coast, West Coast. It don't matter. But I mean, just that alone prepared me for a lot that I'm going through now, as far as like dealing with people.
yeah.
It's like realistically, I'm not really a people person, but I can be to get a job done. You know what I mean? And that's what I do in the military. You know what I mean?
You
So
adapt to your situation.
you got to, yeah, definitely adapt and overcome. That's what they say.
But a lot of people, they don't, they, their mindset is stuck on, I don't want to do, I don't want to do that. Like, like, but you have to remember that everybody is here to do something for you, right? And it may be the smallest little thing. We can learn something from every single person, but it's what you choose to see out of that situation. And if you're always going to be closed minded, I say the military is not for you, because you will not adapt. You will struggle.
Right. I agree. I agree. And they help open my mind more. I mean, I was already open minded when I went in, but they help open it even more. You know what I mean? Because I mean, as far as like you being able to see stuff from different perspectives. Because I mean, you're not always right. Somebody better way of doing something, and I mean, that's just what it comes down to. You got to be open to new ideas and just being able to like, just being able to accept constructive criticism, and just take and make it something positive. You know what I mean? So
Yes. Yes.
that's one thing. That's one of the many things that the military did teach me, as far as like just being able to deal with people from different backgrounds, different cultures. Because I mean, without that, I probably wouldn't be at the job I'm at now. So
Yes. And then you're about to do great things past that.
you say,
I said you're about to do great things past that, right?
I hope so. That's the plan.
Yay. I know that you're going to do great things because of who you are and who you've always been, because you have not changed
No,
what your beliefs in what you believe. Like, you want to see the best in everything, and truly people like you are amazing, because it's like, you know what, this could be the most horrible place right now, but you know what, we just going to do what we need to do and just be done.
man, make it fun, right? It's like
Yes.
we're gonna try and laugh about it and get past it, and then just keep going. You know what I mean? To the next day, or so we
Yes.
not.
But I thank you for joining me, and I love talking to you.
Likewise, and thank you for having me. Sorry I didn't get a chance to do it the other day. I'm sorry, but
Okay,
yeah,
we
sure.
move on and we adapt. I'm all about adapting and adjusting, because that's what we got taught.
Right, definitely, definitely.
Alrighty, I'll talk to you later.
All right, thank you. All right, you have a good day.
You too. Bye
Okay.
bye.